A new version of DWM was released a little while back, and it comes right on the heels of my last DWM video where I patched version 6.3. So if you missed that video where I installed DWM on Debian and applied about 7 patches, I'll leave a link up in the cards. But today I'll be updating that video by installing DWM 6.4, customizing it and patching the heck out of it. And since last time, someone had commented saying that it wasn't from scratch and they couldn't follow along, which I don't know how much more from scratch it could be without showing the installation, so here goes. That's why you're seeing this B-roll on the screen right now of the installation process of Debian. I'm going to slow it down in certain key points where if you give it a root password, your user that you create will not have sudo privileges, or if you just don't select anything in the task cell list, that you'll just get a TTY. So now that all that's done, let's start installing stuff and get this show on the road, shall we? Now, if you noticed during the B-roll that I gave it a root password, that means that sudo was not installed on the system. But while I was getting everything ready to go and getting the font size up, I had to install sudo on the system. But my mic user does not have sudo privileges. So if I typed in sudo apt update, mic is not in the sudoers file. So what I'm going to do here is su to become root, nano/etc sudoers. I'll come down here and I will find where it says root. All right, so let's do Control K and then Control U. And now I can change this line to mic. So Control X, then save the buffer and enter. Let's clear the file and then su back to mic and then sudo apt update. All right, and I have sudo privileges. So now that all that's done, I'm going to start installing some software now, and we'll get this show on the road. So let's do sudo apt install git and then Neovim. Let's install xorg, xserver-xorg, xwallpaper. Let's install gcc make, and now let's install the dependencies for DWM. So libxft-dev, libx11-dev, libzenerama-dev, libxcb1-dev, and that should be all the dependencies. But I still need a web browser. So let's install Firefox-ESR. Let's install VIFM. Let's install ZSH. I'm going to switch over to ZSH here shortly. So I'm just going to go ahead and install the plugins and stuff I want to. So ZSH, ZSH common, ZSH auto suggestions, and ZSH syntax highlighting. Now, since I'll be in ZSH, I use a prettier version of LS, so I'm going to install EXA. Let's get ourselves a GUI file manager. I like PCManFM. You know, that should be good for now. Give it the YY flag, and we're off to the races. Now, I'm going to speed through this part, and you're not going to have to sit here and just, look at me and the scrolling text. So, fast forward. All right, now that that's done, let's go ahead and clone some repositories so I can use my .files while I'm doing all this. Because if I use the software as it comes straight from suckless.org, it's going to be all over the place because I know me and I'm going to be fixing things as I go, and it's going to be all over the place. So to get around that and have it just be about DWM, I'm going to use my .files. So let's get clone https://gitlab.com/linux-dabbler/suckless. Now we're going to git clone https://gitlab.com/linux-dabbler/.files. And this is probably going to take a minute because there's a bunch of wallpapers and stuff. So I'm just going to give that a minute. And I'm going to get one more. This is going to be my Debian install scripts. All right, so if I run an ls, you see I have my 3 repositories here. I'm going to go ahead and put those in the places that I want them to be. So I'm going to mkdir-p home/.local share. And then I'm going to move Debian install scripts and my dot files to home/.local share. And now I'm going to make a source directory. So mkdir-p home/.local source. But inside my suckless folder, there is a DWM build in there. So what I want to do is cd into the suckless folder or directory, and then move DWM up a directory. So now the DWM is not in there anymore. Let me move back, and now let's move suckless to home/.local source. All right, so now let's go ahead and start building our software out. So if we cd into .local source suckless, run an ls, and then cd into dmenu. All right, let's run make, and now let's put this in our roots path. So this is going to take a sudo command. So sudo ln-s home/.local source suckless dmenu to/user local bin. All right, I'm going to hit the up arrow, and I'm going to do that same thing with the dmenu path. I'm going to do it again with dmenu run, and once more with stest. All right, now that that's done, I can go back a directory, run an ls, and let's go into SFM. I like SFM a lot. It's the suckless file manager, or the simple file manager. You can find that over on suckless.org under the rocks category. I really like it, and I put it in my suckless folder. So it's good stuff. I like it. It's in the same vein as far as configuration as the others. So if I clear the screen and run ls, let's ln-s home/.local source suckless sfm to home/.local bin. All right, ln-s home/.local source suckless sfm to home/.local bin. All right, so now let's go into st. So I just symlink that to my local bin. All right, and now all we have in my home directory is the DWM build. I'm not going to touch that until later, because inside this DWM folder, I have a patches directory, I have a scripts directory, and an SB colors directory. The only thing I'm going to move is colors and SB colors, but that's going to be later, once I go to customizing everything. So until then, that's just going to sit in the home directory. All right, so let's cd.local source suckless. And now let's wget https://dl.suckless.org/dwm/6.4.tar.gz. So now we just need to untar this. So let's clear the screen, and then tar-xzf DWM 6.4 tar.gz. All right, so now we have a DWM-6.4 directory. So let's move DWM 6.4.tar.gz to tar files. And then let's move DWM 6.4 to DWM. That, to me, that just looks nicer. So let's just cd into DWM, and let's run make. All right, so now let's ln-s home/.local source suckless DWM to home/.local bin. All right, so now that our software has been built and is in the proper places, let's get some of my dot files taken care of. So if I cd into .local share and then dot files, I'm going to make a directory home/.config, and then I'm going to copy recursively .config star to home/.config. And then if I cd into .local, say I have a bin and a share. So I'm going to copy the bin directory or everything in it to home/.local bin. And then if I cd into share, you say I have a backgrounds directory. So I'm just going to cp-r for recursively backgrounds to home/.local share. We're going to back up again and again and clear the screen, run ls-a, and I'm going to copy my .xnitrc to home. I'm going to copy my .zsh file to home, and that should be about it. Now let's nvim our .xnitrc. I have not run my setup yet for that. So now I'm not running SL status. I'm going to be running DWM bar, which is just a script that I wrote. Write and quit that. Let's clear the screen and then cd into .local bin, and I'll give you a look at the DWM bar. All right, you see that first line in the DWM bar? It's actually sourcing a file in my local source suckless DWM and SB colors. So I need to move. I need to go ahead and move that, and that should be .h. I need to go ahead and move that to my DWM folder. Write and quit this, and then cd into DWM, which is the one that was in the home folder. cp-r SB colors to home/.local source suckless DWM. And let's do the same thing with colors. All right, and now let's go ahead and change our shell over to ZSH. So we're going to run sudo chsh for change shell, -s for shell, I guess. But now we're going to give it a variable. So I'm going to give it $, open parentheses, which ZSH for the mic user. Because if I just run which ZSH, user being ZSH, that can be in different places in different distros. That's why I like to do the variable. So now let's just go ahead and reboot the system, and we'll get into DWM. All right, and my wallpaper didn't show up because I don't have anything set to that point just yet. So if I then did, let's say SFM, then went to local, share, backgrounds. Yeah, I don't have anything in here besides that. So what I'm going to do, let's go to Forest 3. Let's yank that and then paste that. We're going to change that to current wallpaper.png. And then close that, Alt P, and now let's just run the XWP. All right, there we go. Now let's change our resolution and run xrender-s 1920 by 1080. All right, that works way better. Now let's cd into .config x11 and then nvim xprofile. All right, let's change tumon.sh to xrender-s 1920 by 1080. :WQ, and we're good to go. All right, and I want to change my ST theme from OneDart back to Groovebox. So give me just a second. Now that I've got my terminal looking the way I want it, let's get into the Debian install scripts and install some software. So cd into .local share Debian install scripts, and I'm going to run scripts for Devour. I want to get my fonts installed. I want to get the Firamono nerd font. I want to get the Groovebox GTK theme. I want the Inconsolata nerd font. I want LF. I want Neovim plug, and I want, let's see, the Ubuntu nerd font. All right, so now let me increase the font size and then cd into .local source suckless DWM. So if I were to nvim config.def.h, and you see where I have fonts here, I have monospace size 10. I want to change that to 12. I want to change my D menu font size to 12, but I want to come outside of these quotation marks, and I want to add a comma, another set of quotes, and I want the Ubuntu nerd font colon size equals 12. All right. And now that I'm here, I want my Firefox to not spawn on tag 9, and that should be about it for now. So colon WQ to write, rem config.h, and let's make. All right, that works out well. So let's clear the screen, and if we run Alt-Shift-Q, that's going to kill DWM. But tell you what, let's nvim.xnetrc. Let's make this a while loop. That way, when I run start X, I can run Alt-Shift-Q, and it just refreshes DWM. That's pretty much getting around another patch right there. Let's launch Firefox, and let's launch a terminal. If we go here to cyclelayouts.org, and then click on DWM, and go to patches. Now the patches that we want, first and foremost, I want the status 2D patch. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here towards the bottom and find status 2D. And they have a 6.3 patch, which is honestly, that's about the newest that you're going to get. So let's copy that, and then let's wget, and then hit the middle mouse button. So there's that. So now let's do patch-p1, and then status 2D. All right, and that patch did succeed. So let's rm config.h. Let's run make, and now Alt-Shift-Q. And that made our status bar look much, much better. Now, the next patch I want to install is hide vacant tags. So if I come back to where I was and then scroll up, let's get to the H's and hide vacant tags. There's also a 6.3 patch for it. So if I copy this and then wget space and hit the middle mouse button, we have the hide vacant tags. All right, so if I hit Control L, and then let's do patch-p1 hide vacant tags. All right, that one succeeded as well. So let's rm config.h. Let's run make. Let's clear the screen. All right, so that one worked out as well, and that got rid of all of our unused tags up here. So actually, that just created a lot more space, essentially. Now, the next one I want is fake full screen. So if I go down here to the F's, and let's say fake full screen, and the newest one of these is from July of 2021. Let's copy that, and then let's wget. Let's see, there's our fake full screen patch there. And now let's see, patch-p1 fake full screen, and that one succeeded as well. So let's clear the terminal, and rm config.h. Let's run make, and there it is. So now if I were to, let's say, open up a new tab and go to YouTube, go to my page, and let's say I wanted to go here.
Today I want to show off something I've been working on and I've been using for quite a while, but I've neglected to make a video about.
Nice.
The idea for...
So let's close that. Uh-oh. Probably shouldn't have done that. Oh well, let's launch Firefox again. Well, the next one I wanted is pertag, because if I have something floating on tag 1, that doesn't necessarily mean I want everything to be floating on the rest of the tags that are there. So let's go down here to the P's. Pertag, and let's grab the newest one. We're going to copy that, and then wget. All right, there's our pertag patch there. Control L to clear the terminal. Yep, so now let's patch-p1 pertag, and all that succeeded. rm config.h. Let's run make, Alt-Shift and Q. So now if I hit Alt and space, I'm in floating mode here, but if I go to tag 2, there's tiling mode there. All right, good deal. Now the next thing I want is the full gaps. So let's scroll on down or back up rather to the F's, and let's go to full gaps. Now this one, I have a full gaps 6.2 and a full gaps 2020 right here. And now here is one that's called fullgaps-toggle. This is the one that I like. I'm going to copy that. We're going to wget and hit the middle mouse button. And there's that. Yep, there's full gaps. So let's patch -p1 full gaps toggle. All right, so I had one fail, and that was in DWM.c. So let's make this a little wider, and let's nvim DWM.c. Then let's make a vertical split DWM.c.reject. You see, I need to go here to where it says void arrange monitor in that layout right there. Okay. So if I go here and let's type out, or let's do a search for arrange monitor. All right, let's see the layout there. Okay, so now I need to add this. So let me hit Control L to go back to this part of the split, go into vertical line mode, yank that, we'll paste that in, and then we will go to visual block mode, go down here, get rid of all the pluses. :WQ to write that. Let's quit out of that. Let's rm config.h and run make. All right, that worked. Alt-Shift-Q. All right, and now we have gaps. So let's see. nvim config.def.h. Let's see our default gap here. And now let's see. So we have set gaps, so mod minus, mod equal, gap reset, and gap toggle. Okay, I don't really care for those key bindings. So let's go back and do a, okay, let's see. So that would be mod minus for the -5 for the gaps. Let's do mod control, and let's do that as J. All right, let's do this one as K. All right, so mod control J and K will do my gaps up and down, or more and less. The reset, let's do mod control mask. Let's do this as, let's see, to reset the gaps, let's do R, because why not? And to toggle the gaps, let's do, all right, so now if we right and quit that, and then rm config.h, just run make, Alt-Shift-Q. So now if we do Alt Control J, that's less gaps, more gaps. If I want to reset the gaps, if I want to toggle the gaps. All right, that works well. So now let's do preserve on restart, because whenever you, okay, so let's say I'm in tag 2 and then I have a few terminals open. I'm on tag 3, and let's say I've got, I don't know, PCman FM open over here, and then I go back to tag 1 and then restart, everything comes back to tag 1. That's not what I want. So now let's swap that back, and let's go down to the P's for preserve on restart. There's that. Let's copy that, and then wget. All right, so now let's patch -p1 preserve on restart. That succeeded. So now rm config.h and then make, Alt-Shift-Q. And now if I go to tag 2 and open up a few terminals, and then go to tag 3 and open up PCman FM, go back to tag 1, Alt-Shift-Q. I was not bombarded with windows, so good deal. Let's see, how about always center? Go all the way back to the top, and let's see, always center. It's pretty much just like the centered patch, except it doesn't have a rule. So if I click this, then go to copy, then wget, there's that. Let's clear it, and now let's Let's see, yeah, there it is. All right, so let's patch -p1 always centered. All right, so I have one fail. So let's nvim, let's see, DWM.c. And then let's make this wide. And then let's run a split for DWM.c.reject. All right, you see I have one thing there mess up. So now let's go look for update WM hence C. The updates window type size hence WM hence C. And then let's see, X select input. If I look for X select input. All right. So it needs to go somewhere in there. There was nothing inside any of that, so Control J to go down, capital V for visual line mode, Control K to go back up, and let's just hit P. We'll hit X to get rid of our plus signs. We'll write and quit, and then rm config.h, and then run make. All right, that worked. All right, so now if something is centered on the screen, let's say, you know what, I need to install Kitty anyway. So if I clear the terminal and sudo apt install Kitty, because I really like Kitty. Control L, and now if I hit mod and space to go into floating mode, and then mod P to go open up D menu, if I just launch Kitty, we are centered and floating. Nice. Now the next patch I want is called attach aside, because I don't want my new windows that I spawned to become the new master. So I'm going to scroll back up here towards the top, and I'm going to find attach aside. And if we go here, let's see, I'm going to copy that, and then wget, paste that in, and now let's patch -p1 DWM attach aside. All right, so I had one thing fail, and that was in DWM.c. So nvim DWM.c, and then let's open up a split for DWM.c.reject. Okay, it looks like I have some conflict here from other patches that I've put in. So if I look for attach stack, and then attach stack, I don't have an attach C here. So if I just look for attach C, update geometry, let's look for update GEOM void. There's that. I just look for detach stack. Okay. Okay, and that's in the update geometry void. Detach stack. And I want to change attach here to attach aside. All right, let me write and quit that. Let's quit out of the reject file, and then rm config.h. Let's run make and Alt Shift Q. All right, so that does work. Nice. Because there was several different places you could have put that, but it was, if it wasn't the right spot, it was not going to let you spawn any new windows, and it wasn't going to take any command or anything like that. I ran across that issue when I was trying out attach bottom a while back. So let's clear the screen. Let's run an ls. Let's see, we have always center, attach aside, fake full screen, full gaps, hide vacant tags, pertag, preserve on restart. All right, I think the next one I want to do is called movestack. Now let's go down here to the M's. Let's see, movestack. Let's grab the 2021 diff. We're going to copy that and then wget, paste that in, hit enter. And now let's clear the screen and then patch-p1 and then let's say movestack. All right, so now I have a config.def.h reject. So let's see, let's nvim config.def.h and then let's open up a split for config.def.h.reject and say include movestack.c. Okay, that needs to be, well, I'll just include it up here. Do a #, include movestack.c. That should be all I got to do right there. Right, and quit that. Let's quit out of that. rm config.h and run make. After I run this, let's nvim config.def.h and let's see what our movestack. Let's see, that's mod shift J and K. All right. Now let's spawn some more. Let's spawn some other stuff here. And I want to run htop on this. I want to run, let's see, how about SFM on this? And then let's do mod shift K. Nice. I like that. Mod shift C to close. All right. So let's hit Control L to clear the screen. And now let's do the bottom stack. I don't think I have a bottom stack patch in here yet. I think it was, yeah, we're good. So let's go open up Firefox again. Let's go back to suckless.org, go to DWM, go to patches, and now let's go to bottom stack. That's what I want. And let's see, the 6.1, I think that's the newest one. Let's copy that and then wget, paste that in, hit enter. And now let's patch-p1 bottom stack. All right, that succeeded. So rm config.h, let's run make. And now I think it's going to be mod and u. Yeah, I like that. All right, let's do mod t to get back to where we want. And let's see. Bottom stack, let's do cyclelayouts next. Go down to CY. There it is. Cyclelayouts. Let's copy that and then wget and then paste that in. Now patch-p1 cyclelayouts. All right, I have a config.def.h failure and that looks like it's about it. So nvim config.def.h and then let's open up a split for config.def.h.reject. Okay, so it didn't add the null here and it didn't add the key binding. So, okay, let's scroll on down. And now let's add the null. All right, and then let's go down here to my control. Let's see. Where was that? Let's look for xk_m. Okay. Now let's hit Control J. Let's go here, visual line mode, yank that up and then paste it in. Get rid of the plus symbols. My control, comma and period to cycle the layouts. Let's right and quit that. Let's quit out of that. Remove config.h and then let's run make. Alt-Shift-Q, and then now let's do mod control. Okay, not bad. And I think I'm going to do one more patch. Let's do a new one that we hadn't done before. Let's do the doublepressquit. So if I go down here, where are you? Here we go. double press quit. All this is going to do is make you, instead of doing mod shift Q to quit, it's going to make you do mod shift QQ to quit. It's kind of an added layer of security there. So let's patch that in. Then let's patch -P1, then double press quit. rmconfig.h, and then make. Now let's Alt Shift Q, and now if I wanted to refresh DWM, Alt Shift QQ. Because Alt Shift Q does nothing, QQ does. Okay, cool. So let's see how many patches we just put in here. So let's find out. ls everything dot diff pipe through wc-l. We have 12 patches. Okay, that's actually 5 more than last time. So I think that can be considered as patching the heck out of DWM, because, well, that's 12 features that we've added that it didn't have before. And we actually got around another patch by doing a while loop in our XNetRC. So it would have been 13 patches had we done the restart signal and that kind of mess. And you ain't got to do all that. Just do a while loop in your XNetRC. Good to go. So that's about all I wanted to show today. It was a little more challenging to add so many patches, but honestly, if you pay attention to the surrounding text in the .rej files, it'll kind of tell you more about where the failed patches were and where they need to go, rather. And also it really helps if you can search in a file. If you can search a file in Vim, you're just about golden in that, or whatever editor you use. But with all that said, if you like the video, leave a like. If you think it'll help someone else, share it with them. If you want to tell me I'm an idiot, leave it down in the comments. I'll leave a link to the Suckless website down in the description, along with the list of all the patches I used today. So if you made it this far in the video, you must have the patience of Job. And I aspire to be like you one day. The channel just hit 2,800 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. That is awesome. I never thought it would ever reach that point when I uploaded my first video a few years back. And this was just going to be kind of, you know, something to do for fun. But yeah, I never thought it would actually get some traction or anything. But yeah, this is kind of cool. So thank you guys a lot. That's awesome. Actually, y'all are awesome. We'll catch you in the next one.